debuting it here. So the first time it's actually being used, you'll witness it yourself. So you feel free to videotape it, share it with your friends, that kind of thing. What we're trying to accomplish today is just spread education on fire sprinklers. For the firefighters out there, you've seen some of the bad side, light being lost, being property damage and stuff like that. So here you kind of see some of the benefits of what a sprinkled house has. Raise your hands if you have smoke alarms in your house. Raise your hands if you or your parents test them every time they cook.
Ours goes off every time.
That's a good thing. As long as you test them some way, that's great. How many of y'all have residential sprinkler systems in your house? Hands up high. Nope. How about sprinkler systems where you work? How many of you sleep where you work? That may be a problem. It's great if you have them where you work. It's just an extra added protection. If a fire happens in your house, the worst fear I have is in the garage. I don't have a fire alarm in my garage. I don't have a sprinkler system in my house. That garage is going to be well involved. It's going to be in my house before I even wake up. What we're going to show you, your right, we have a residential sprinkler system. The left-hand side is an unprotected. So every one of us just showed that we have an unprotected house. What you see in the middle is basically the meat and potatoes of the whole operating system. This is what you would see in your house, in your garage, or in a closet. You have a drain, you have a bell. The way the system operates, just per standard, is once the activation happens, it's a 10-second delay and you'll hear the bell. The system is installed just as it would be the orange PVC Schedule 40. We've had a lot of partnerships that has gotten this far. We couldn't have done it without them. Not to mention the guys on duty, all 3 shifts have helped out tremendously. This deadline kind of sped up the situation, the whole operation. So, without all them helping. We've got a couple firefighters, and we'll get them to kind of sit low so you can kind of see over them. But Pasco did the installation. It stands for Palmetto Automatic Sprinkler Company. They have offices in Casey, Atlanta, and in Charleston. They were gracious enough to install this thing and showed us the operation to give a lot of information on how it works. The furniture you see in here was donated by Goodwill. We developed a partnership with them. Pretty much anytime I need, I've got full reign of the warehouse, I show up. Goodwill does great things for our community as well as everywhere in the state. And they're actually going to get us some more information on their community involvement. Belfour Restoration Company, they're in the business to clean up after a fire. So everybody can see inside. We've already got ignition on the side over here. So you can see it's well under a minute from the time of ignition to the time when that sprinkler head popped off. Was very much more or less than a minute, that time frame. The temperature only has to reach 155 degrees to make that fusible link break. The fire's out. Firefighters haven't moved. Check that and make sure the fire's out. We're going to have him check it just real quick. Any overhaul we may do, we'll continue to talk, give him more information. We're also talking about Belfour being a restoration company. They've shown the differences between what it costs a cleanup operation from when you have a fire in your house, taking out walls, replacing walls with sheetrock, and it's just the difference in that just removing some water damage. Obviously, you will have water damage. You're going to have water damage anyway from the fire department once they arrive on scene. At least your furniture and everything can most likely be either clean or, if anything, worst case, replaced. The National Fire Sprinkler Association has helped us out tremendously. Once we kind of had this idea of what we wanted to do, they dove right in 100% and have definitely assisted us financially and a lot of information. I've definitely learned a lot doing this, as well as with the South Carolina Fire Sprinkler Coalition. We've got a representative, Jenna, that disappeared. She's right there. Any other questions that I may not have answered that you have for her, I'm sure she'll be more than happy to help you out. But definitely, she's lived and breathed this stuff for many years and can give you a lot more information than I can as far as the sprinkler side of it. I can show you the effects of having a protected area, but as you can see, that's the damage done to the couch. And another partner we have with the South Carolina Firefighters Association, which they again have definitely supported this operation. This will go to the beach, Myrtle Beach, in June for the Firefighter and Fire Chiefs Conference. So look forward there as well. We did borrow a truck for our EMD, our Emergency Management Department, to pull it down here. The one we were using, the turbo went out in it, so we want to thank them as well. All right, you want to shift just a little bit to your left. We're going to do our next burn. Some statistics. Last year, we had 67 residential fire fatalities in just the state of South Carolina. So far, I was given numbers by Jenna. We're up to 24 already. To date, we're already up to 24 fire fatalities, the biggest fire fatalities. Last year, we were ranked 3rd in the United States. That's not good. There's certain things you want to be ranked high in. That's not one of them. You're going to see a fire flash over once the fire develops. You'll see this plexiglass we have. Just imagine your house. Normally you have 4 walls in a bedroom or a living room. That's just to simulate that heat rolling out. It's going to melt. It's going to fall down. It takes less than 3 minutes for a fire to flash over in today's construction with all the synthetic materials that goes into carpet, furniture, all that kind of stuff. So obviously this is going to be unprotected. You won't have the same effect. It will get hot, so if you feel like you need to back up, just don't cross this line. I feel safe with you behind this line right here, okay? Fires can start from electrical outlets being overloaded, stuff behind your couch. They can start from a waste basket. Everybody smokes in their house. Numerous ways you can just imagine how fires start. All this is just cotton. You got activation of your smoke alarm. Our cotton drapes we have, and synthetic fibers on the couch. By now the sprinkler would have activated. You definitely have 155 degrees to the ceiling. So about a minute and a half in, you probably have a neighbor calling if you're not home saying, hey, I think my neighbor's house is on fire. So they're going to drop tones for the closest fire department. Depending on where you live and how close to the fire department, you're roofing it 4 or 5 minutes, okay? By industry standard for us to respond. We'll give it a few more minutes as this fire continues to grow. you are at home asleep, hopefully your smoke alarms have woken you up enough to get out of the house. This black smoke is toxic. You can't breathe this in.
So how you get that clean out?
Ma'am?
How you get that clean out? How you get that clean out again?
Cleaned out? You have to gut it. So we'll say the fire department's on the way. They're pulling up. They see this is what your house is like. They make entry and they make a direct attack on your house. We'll let some of that smoke clear, and then we'll invite you up a little bit closer. We'll make sure the fire's out, and that way you can get a up close and personal look at the effects of what it did to your house, my house, and everything else without protection, compared to the one that does have a fire sprinkler installed. Anybody have any questions while they're doing some overhauls or mop up? Roughly in a new construction house, about $1.35 per square foot. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more expensive for a house that's already built and built. Not with all insurance companies. No. Yes, sir. What happened? Because it got so hot, it melted. It is plastic. It's just it's plastic. Yeah, it just fell down. We'll replace that.